Hello everyone, welcome back to the Paul Groseclose Show, the show where I basically take something tech or camera or just any kind of topic-wise that I want to chat with you guys about and chat with you guys about it. So before we get into the episode, I just want to point out that I am now doing the Paul Groseclose Show every other week, just like I am doing the #AskPaul Show every other week. So it's like the weeks that I don't do the #AskPaul Show, I'll be doing the Paul Groseclose Show. So it's just flip-flopping back and forth. So each week there'll be the same amount of content on the YouTube channel. So today, we are going to be talking about notches. So tech companies that are not Apple are embracing the notch. Most of these small Android manufacturers and some of even the bigger ones are implementing notches into their phones, and the new Android operating system is going to be supporting that, which honestly I think is horrible. Already, if you cannot tell, I strongly dislike the notch. And it's not that I just don't like it, ew, I think it's ugly. I truly think that it's a design flaw and really shouldn't end up being there, and I think companies should strive to take the notch away instead of implementing it. I get the idea of a total screen display with a little bit of notch for the camera, but some of these phones are just adding the notch in software just to make it look like the iPhone. So obviously we all know Apple made the first phone with a notch. Hello everyone, wow. I need to make a quick retraction already. We're like a minute and a half into the video and I already need to make a retraction. This is bad, not normal, but the iPhone X was not the first phone with a notch. The Essential phone was actually the first phone with a notch, though the iPhone X was the first phone that popularized the notch. So technically, yes, the iPhone X was the second phone with a notch. Just wanted to make that clear. The Essential phone was the first, though the Essential phone's notch was very, very small and just for the camera, and I feel like the iPhone X definitely popularized the notch design. But yes, the Essential phone was the very first phone with a notch. So I'm sorry, that was a retraction. Back to the video. As much as I hate the iPhone X's notch, you know, it had a purpose to it. It distinguished the iPhone X from the rest of the crowd. Samsung and Google both just had a thin bezel on the top and bottom, and Apple, you know, they basically just made the whole phone a screen instead of the small notch up top, which I would sure, whatever, if you're an Apple sheep, you're probably gonna say it's innovation, which it's really not. It's just distinguishing them from the crowd. And honestly, I think that would, since they didn't find a way to get the cameras below the screen, they're like, this is a way to distinguish yourselves from the competition. Because when there's so many phones and so many different types of phones that you can buy, you want to distinguish yourself, stand out from the crowd. And I think that was the way, if people see a notch, they're like, oh, that's the iPhone X. And as much as I dislike the notch, it's definitely a good marketing standpoint, Apple-wise, because they knew that it would make them stand out. Now, I'm going to be explaining why it worked with Apple and why it's not going to work with any of these Android phones. The reason why the notch works with Apple is because Apple has a very, 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 very loyal subscriber base that will literally buy anything that they throw at them, which is great for Apple, and it makes Apple know that they're going to get a certain amount of viewers, just like your YouTube channel. When you know that you have a certain amount of loyal subscribers, they're going to watch everything that you put out. That was a weird metaphor, but it actually kind of makes sense in this scenario. So when Apple made the notch, they knew that no matter what, they were still going to get tons of love from their supporters, and they have the ecosystem totally hammered down, and it's perfect. It's a wonderful ecosystem experience. It's really an experience when you own all these Apple products, and that's why it works with Apple. They have such a loyal subscriber base that people forgave the notch, and some people will just forget about the notch even when it's blatantly there, and I don't know how anyone cannot notice the notch. So to make it simple, companies are now putting notches into their phones, and I understand the reason why that you would want to get more screen on the phone. But if you look at this picture on this website that I'm reading from right now, literally they all look like iPhone X Chinese ripoffs. And that's what Apple wants. They want everyone to buy the iPhone X. When they look at a phone with a notch, they think the iPhone X. Again, this is why it works for Apple. Apple has such a big brand recognition, but other companies, they're gonna fail because no one likes the notch. If you're not on the iPhone X bandwagon, you're most likely on an older version of iOS and an older iPhone, or you're probably on an Android device. So if you're on Android, you're probably bashing the notch. So why should you give notches to those Android users? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever on a marketing standpoint for all these Android manufacturers. What I kind of get mad about is that be your own company. Like, I feel like all these companies are trying to be exactly like Apple. Even Google and Samsung have these issues as well. As much as everyone bashes Apple, everyone wants to be them. Google made fun of Apple at their Pixel event for removing the headphone jack, and then a year later, they removed the headphone jack. Samsung is now slowly raising up prices because it worked with Apple products. And now all these manufacturers are making phones with notches, even though everyone that uses these phones hate the notch. So yeah, that's my rant. I think it's stupid for companies to implement notches into their phones because not only one, are they implementing a bad design flaw. Like honestly, be your own company, don't rip off bad design. I think that's stupid. Stupid. If you're gonna rip off something, make sure it's good. Like Instagram ripping off Snapchat, it's good. But like, don't rip off bad design, and the notch is a bad design. So yeah, that's what I have to say here. I don't like the notch, and it's really unfortunate because now it seems to be like it's gonna be a while before we get notchless phones now. That's stupid. I mean, the only phones that don't have a notch these days are the Samsung ones and the Google Pixel, which just, you got the two main competitors to Apple are the only ones without a notch. Everything else has a notch. Any affordable phone now seems to be getting a notch. So yeah, I think it's totally dumb. It's stupid. If you're a company watching this, don't make this mistake as well. Make your phone stand out with another design, but please don't use the notch. It's horrible. You're just trying to replicate Apple. Everyone is noticing this, so please don't do it. That's what I have to say here. If you enjoyed what I had to say and you agree with me, make sure to leave a like on the video. Do you like the notch? Do you not notice the notch? Do you hate the notch like me? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys are new here, please smash the subscribe button. I know you guys want to. I upload videos 3 times a week, and I go live every Sunday at 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you guys have not already, make sure to push the notification bell. You totally should. I upload multiple videos each and every week, and you'll get a brand new notification whenever those release. That's awesome, and you totally should do that. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave you guys off today. Thank you guys so much for listening to my rant about notches. Peace everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.